What's up guys, it's Aaronitmar. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to load Smash 4 mods on a Wii U that is on firmware 5.5.2. I've gotten a lot of questions about this and how it's not possible or it's really hard, and it's possible, but it is a little more time consuming than it was before. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. And I figured I would make this tutorial on the same day that my arcade pack version 5 has released, just so that as many people as possible who want to play it can play it. So let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial. First things first, you want to go to the internet browser because of course this is going to be an internet exploit. So let's go ahead and open up the internet browser, and you'll see that I've got a page that has a gray background and several numbers and a big button exploit. Now there are two sources you could possibly go to. This one is SleepyV2 and this one is Stupid Hack Stable. I'll put both of the URLs on screen right now. The first one is u.drg.li and the second one is sleepy.ovh. Now, you don't need to use both of these, you only need to use one. As you can see, they both have 4 numbers, well, 5 including 0, and the big button exploit. So they're the exact same exploit on both sites. It basically is just an alternative option in case one of the sites goes down. So it really doesn't matter which one you use. But you can see that we are going to be using this website to use the exploit. Now, I'm going to give you a bit of a disclaimer. This exploit is not 100% guaranteed on 5.5.2. In fact, you're almost absolutely going to have issues with this at least once, and I'm going to explain why. The exploit, for some reason, is not 100%, not secure, but it doesn't have a 100% success rate. Sometimes you'll press the exploit and it will just freeze for some reason, and then other times it'll just work perfectly. I'm not entirely sure why, but it is going to freeze, and if you freeze, that's 100% normal. After that, you just need to go back into the browser and go to the exploit again and try again. Now you'll notice there's exploit 01234. Certain people have had different success with different numbers or the big exploit button. As you can see on Sleepy, it tells you to just try the big exploit button a few times, and then clearing your browser data and choosing another option might also help. I've used u.drg.li. It's what I have used, and it works, confirmed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to press a button. Apparently, 2 has the highest success rate. So if you tap 2, it will open up an exploit. It'll try and open up a video, just like it did on loading.ovh. And it will attempt to do the exploit. Now, you can pay attention to your gamepad. I can't show you my gamepad, but one of the ways you can tell that it freezes is if your Mii in the bottom corner stops moving. So right now my Mii in the corner is sort of swaying back and forth, then he gets tired, then a bunch of Z's start coming from his face, and he has frozen. So we have frozen on our attempt. That is totally fine. So what we're gonna have to do is just restart the Wii U, and we're gonna have to try again. So I'm gonna go ahead and restart the Wii U and load the exploit back up. Alright, so we're back in the web browser, and we're back on u.drg.li. That's just the one I've chosen to use consistently. Like I said, both of these work. Just because I'm using one doesn't mean you shouldn't use the other. This is just the one that I use. So either way, it doesn't really matter. But let's go ahead and tap 2 again. We'll see if the exploit goes through this time. Hopefully it does. I will cross my fingers that the exploit goes through. On your gamepad, it'll show the loading bar on the exploit.html page. So it's all good to go. If you are, if you do get a freeze, you just got to try again. Like I said, this one is going to be a bit more frustrating, but it looks like we did it on the second try. So you'll see that if you're successful, the Wii U logo will appear, and then we'll be here on the homebrew launcher, which means we have successfully exploited on 5.5.2. Luckily, it was only 2 tries this time. Like I said, the number 2 seems to have the highest success rate. Not entirely sure why, but it does. And now that you're here on the homebrew launcher, you can do 2 different things. The first thing you can do is, of course, load SD Caffeine, which is how you load up your mod packs. The second thing you can do is what's at the top of the screen called the HexG installer. Now, Hackshi is going to cost you some money if you want to use it. It costs the price of a virtual console game, because what Hackshi does is it takes the virtual console game and it basically empties it, and then it puts the homebrew launcher exploit inside of the program, and that's what Hackshi installer does. There's a whole list on the tutorial that I'll link in the description if you're interested in Hackshi. For now, I'm just going to show you how SD Caffeine works, but I highly recommend you install Hackshi. You may have the game already. The only downside is if you have the game, you can't play it if you install Hackshi. You have to basically sacrifice that game. So what I did was I purchased Brain Age. It was only $7 on the eShop. Then you put Hackshi inside Brain Age, and it becomes the Hackshi icon on the Wii U menu. Then from there, you can tap Hackshi, and instead of going through the browser, you can load up Homebrew through the icon. You don't actually even need to use the browser. So that's the only way you can get 100% success rate, is if you use Hackshi. Otherwise, you're going to have to do basically this whole trial and error thing from sleepy.ovh or u.drg.li. So that's why I recommend Hackshi. You, of course, are free to not use Hackshi if you don't want to, because it does cost money, like I said, and I can understand why you wouldn't want to pay for it. So let's go ahead and go into SD Caffeine. We're going to tap SD Caffeine and hit load, and it's going to do its thing, and then it's going to load up the Wii U logo down in the bottom right here in a sec. Oh, never mind, it's the Wii U menu button, or image. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. But there, we've loaded up the exploit. Now what we can do is head over to Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, and we tap that. And it will do its thing, load up the correct SD Caffeine, and there we go. So now you can see I've got the multiple mod pack option installed, so you can choose between any of the mod packs you have. So for example, I have Aaronitmar Arcade Pack here and Nairo's Winter Pack. I can load either one. Of course, I'm going to load mine for the sake of this video, but we're going to boot into this thing, and I'm going to prove to you that this method works. And there you go. You got the Smash Cross, and we booted to the title screen, and as you can see, that is a custom title screen. And we jump into the game. There's my Arcade Pack logo. So as you can see, it has successfully loaded the mod pack, which we knew it would because it loaded the SD Caffeine mod pack selector. But there you go. That is how you load mods on 5.5.2. Like I said, if you're gonna go the browser way every single time, it's going to be a bit more frustrating because, of course, it's going to be, what's it called? It's going to be not 100% success rate, but with Hackshi, it's going to be 100% success rate. But like I said, Hackshi does cost money, so if you're going to go the free route, that's going to be your only course of action for 5.5.2. If you do have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I will be here to answer them. But with all that said, thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys next time. Have an awesome day. And I hope you enjoy the mod pack.